What is up? Today we're going to be explaining the checkpoint and how you can use this to make it to where if your player dies, they don't have to restart all the way at the beginning of the level. They can restart outside of the boss door, or they can restart right where the enemy fight started, to where they don't have to redo everything tediously like we've done in a lot of games. This is how you do that. This also works for classic RPGs, so if you're at a boss door area and you lose your classic RPG turn-based battle, you'll restart right outside of the boss door, and then you can re-battle instantly. And this is also how you can do save files like the Resident Evil typewriter also. So let's say this is our save file room right here. We get inside of here, a trigger zone then turns on this teleporter to where the checkpoint that it's connected to, affected objects, is this checkpoint right here. Then we'll instantly teleport towards our player tag, which is right here. So make sure you have a tag, name it player or P, and then put that dot around the center area of your player. Put the name of that tag inside of the teleporter. Make sure this is on. And if you're going to have the trigger zone turn this on, make sure it is inside of there. Label your character right here by pressing L1 and square on your character. And then make the label. Press this. And then click friend, and I usually click these two. And that's how you set all that up. So I'm going to restart our character back here to where the checkpoint is always following the character. Right here we have a health manager. This will make it to where our character loses all health if he walks into this bubble. This is our health manager. So let me show you how all this works. Don't forget to subscribe, follow me in Dreams. I'm Young Text YouTube in Dreams, Young Text on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the bell here. Young Text on Twitch. And if you need more tutorials, just check out my channel playlist for individual tutorials on logic, sculpting, animation, music, and more. Follow us on the Dreams Amino if you have the Dreams or the Amino app. So we have our respawn, our die, and is dead. So no more health is connected to die, which will make our character die and disappear. Is dead would then send a signal because we are dead to respawn. And that's how all this works. Sometimes you'll want to unplug all this stuff, like if you have a flying character, you want to sort of make this stuff disabled in certain areas. You can check out my flying tutorial if you want to understand more about that. So here's how I have mine set up right now. So let's say this green box represents our boss area, and let's say this small circle represents our boss attacks, and one attack can kill us like Bloodborne or something like that. Then let's say this trigger zone, when you're inside of there, when our character is inside of there, it sends off a signal to our keyframe to turn off this. You don't necessarily have to turn this off with the keyframe, so press L1 and X on your keyframe. Turn this off by pressing X on it. You can also press triangle to remove everything. You want to turn it off. You want to turn that off. You don't have to, but I did. This means when you're inside of the boss area or this area for your enemies, or let's say you're so low on the ground, let's say you jumped off, and when you're about to die from leaping off or falling to your death, you'd want to put this box right here so that way the checkpoint doesn't follow you all the way down to your doom. Instead, it'll stay right here because we also have the box around the edges. And that's where your character restart, because that's as far as the checkpoint would follow, because the keyframe will make it to where this checkpoint can't follow, because this teleporter turns off, because this trigger zone detects your player And when it detects your player, it sends a signal to power on this keyframe that turns off this teleporter. And that's what this box would be used for. So let's test it all out. You'd also want to put an on switch inside of your checkpoints, activate me. And you'll also want to make sure this is on. So again, this circle represents our boss's attack, and it's going to kill us in one hit. It's looking for the friend tag. Our character is labeled friend right here. Make sure it has a label it friend. Make sure this is looking for friend. And again, I usually turn these on right here. And I'll have to look for that bubble. It's probably like right here. Then we restart right outside of the door instead of all over, because that's as far as our checkpoint followed. And as you can see, it worked perfect. And if I were to restart it, you'll see where we started in the beginning. So this is an easy way you can do that for your games, to where if your character ever dies, or if you want to make a save file, you can also make it to where this trigger zone does the opposite. It turns this on. And then you can make it to where this trigger zone is off. And let's say this is our Resident Evil typewriter area. And then I'm going to make our enemy over here this time. What this area will do is make it to where we save our data and we will move back here instead. So this will effectively make it like a checkpoint, like Super Mario Bros. Let's hope I find it. I think it's over here. And then over here is our boss. Let's see if it worked. We press play. There we go. I can just show you it like this, so you can see the checkpoints following. I think the bubble's like right here. But what you want to do is make it to where the typewriter is the thing that does this, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to make this too close to the other one, to the other to the trigger zone. Oops. And there we go. So that's how you would do all this. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and peace out.